the journey of Star Wars Hunters has been a very long and painstaking one for us Star Wars gamers. For a lot of people who haven't been able to play the soft launch, I think a lot of people have honestly just forgotten about the game. And for those of us who have been playing, for the last 2.5 years, all we've wanted is for the game to go global, so that it can finally be in everyone's hands, because we've been really enjoying it. And now that that is finally upon us, I thought I'd go over the story of Star Wars Hunters so far. Not in terms of the in-game universe story for Star Wars, but just in terms of its overall journey from a fan's perspective. So Hunters was first revealed in February 2021, on February 17th to be precise, where they then launched a 30-second teaser trailer at Nintendo Direct, which then also launched the website and confirmed the game to be a multiplayer battle arena game for the Nintendo Switch and mobile devices. Now, I was super excited for this game following that, because I've wanted a battle arena game for Star Wars for so many years now. So I immediately thought it had a lot of potential, and obviously it had been almost a whole year since Battlefront 2 was ended, and the game was due to release in 2021, so I was naturally very, very excited for that. Now, we then unfortunately didn't really hear anything about it until the 14th of September later that year in 2021, where they then released a Welcome to the Arena cinematic trailer, pretty much just out of the blue. And in that trailer, they confirmed that the game was now releasing in 2022, so it then had actually been delayed officially. But my assumption from this was that it was still going to be early 2022, so I didn't really mind too much. And then I think it was around the 8th or 9th of November, so 2 months later, at an investor call for Zynga, and that is where they then announced the soft launch was releasing in a week's time. So a week later, the game then soft launched in 5 countries in Southeast Asia, and thanks to Wizardry, I was then able to start playing Star Wars Hunters on my laptop via an emulator called Nox, and that was ultimately the start of the player journey, which was very exciting. A few weeks after the game's soft launch, we then actually got an official gameplay trailer on December 7th, which further reiterated the release of the game in 2022. So the fact that we had a cinematic trailer, the soft launch came out, and a gameplay trailer released all within a couple of months, it seemed pretty clear that the game was probably going to be releasing within the first half of 2022. But then we didn't really hear anything about it. The game itself did get updates, one in particular in February which introduced Scorer and Sprocket as hunters, and made it so that iPhones were compatible, which meant that I was able to then start playing the game on my phone, which was a bit of a game changer for me. But in terms of overall marketing and just talking about the game in general and its release, there was pretty much nothing. And then it got to Star Wars Celebration 2022, where they did actually have a pretty big panel there so that people could play the game, and it all looked very cool. And they did actually have a panel where they went over a bunch of the creation of some of the characters, so they showcased some really cool concept art, but still we heard absolutely nothing about the game's release. So at that point it was pretty clear that something had happened, and I think it was at some point in July we then got the official notice from Zynga saying that the game will now release in 2023. So again, the game was getting updates, but we weren't really hearing anything else. And then it got to, I think, this time last year, and that is when, via investor calls, we then started hearing about the fact that the game will be releasing in fiscal year 24, which essentially meant any time between April 1st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024, and that was reiterated in the August investor call as well. So I had fairly high hopes, and the updates they kept releasing for the game just made it even more release ready in my opinion. And then I think it was the November 2023 investor call which then meant that the game was just releasing in 2024 in general, so calendar 24 instead of fiscal 24, which meant that the game clearly had been slightly delayed or more. But we then got an update on January 9th, 2024, and another one which was the latest one on March 26th. So following those two updates, the game just felt so ready. We had 12 hunters, plenty of maps, the gameplay was so good. The balancing has not been the best in the last update, but that will hopefully be sorted out for launch. And it was on that March 26th update that Zynga actually then said that they would have more details on the launch of the game soon, which if you fast forward a month, they then released the launch trailer, which was super exciting. So the game is now officially coming out on June 4th. It's been a pretty crazy 3-year period, or over 3 years now, since that initial reveal on February 17th, 2021. I've been covering the game here on YouTube extensively in that time as well. So the fact that for Star Wars Battlefront 2, I was covering that game on YouTube for only really 2 years properly for myself, to have already essentially covered Star Wars Hunters for longer than that is actually a bit mental. But I'm very excited for the game to finally be launching soon in just a few weeks now. And if you are too, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hopefully once the game has launched, we'll then be getting consistent updates and it'll just be a great time with everyone playing. Hopefully the game will be successful enough to then be able to see a native PC and PS5 and Xbox release as well. That would be awesome, because I think a lot of people would then pick up the game even more at that point, which is absolutely not a bad thing. But yeah, that is pretty much the journey of Star Wars Hunters so far. Like I said, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but I'm just so glad that it's finally here. That is it from me today though. Let me know what you think about this all in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.